Well, the US president is now demanding Iran's unconditional surrender after these 6 days of hostilities with Israel. The Pentagon is sending more fighter jets to the Middle East and extending the stay of warplanes that are already there. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth says the deployments are for the protection of US forces. Well, Trump has also issued a further warning online. He said, "We now have complete and total control of the skies over Iran. Iran had good sky trackers and other defensive equipment and plenty of it, but it doesn't compare to American-made, conceived and manufactured stuff." Trump adds that nobody does it better than the good old USA. Well, let's bring in Phil Lavelle. He joins us from Washington, D.C. Phil, I was taken by that post. We have control of the skies over Iran. Who's we?
Well, I mean, he's not spelled it out directly, but the general working assumption is it means that the US and Israel have now gone into kind of partnership on this, really, because for so long, or for so many days rather, Israel has been saying it had air dominance over Iran. And the US was obviously assisting, but in a very indirect way. It was letting Israel get on with it effectively. Now, the fact that he's saying we suggests that there is this coupling there. But, it's still very early in the morning here. It's 3 o'clock in the morning, and we're still waiting to hear from Donald Trump. Bear in mind that he often does make statements in the middle of the night. He's been on Truth Social all night talking about other things. So there's every chance we could hear from him in the coming hours. But let's just look where we are now. So we know that he spent much of Tuesday speaking to his top advisors, his top generals. He met with the Joint Chiefs of Staff. He was in the Situation Room. That meeting lasted for about an hour, 20 minutes. We know that he spoke to Benjamin Netanyahu. There's no exact readout on what they said, but we can pretty much glean what was discussed there. There are reports in Axios this morning here in the US, which is a very well-sourced website, claiming that top military officials say they now expect the US to launch these military strikes within a matter of days. Now, you've got to remember, we've seen these posts from Donald Trump, so he's very much on the offensive now. He's even called out Ayatollah Khamenei. He said he called him the supposed supreme leader. And to paraphrase, basically said, we know where you are, don't push it because we will come if we feel the need. So it's all building up now. The big question is, what will it look like if the US gets involved? Will it become a regime change issue, which we know Benjamin Netanyahu is fully backing? He's not only saying that in Israel, he's appeared on American television to push for that. Or will it be that the US goes in, it launches those bombs on the Fordo site, and then it pulls out? Either way, it's going to have real implications for Donald Trump and for people here.
Well, there isn't exactly consensus in D.C., right, on what Trump should do. This is splitting his party. I see there have also even been moves in Congress.
Yeah, I mean, Donald Trump pretty much gets his way with the Republican Party, but even within the party that he controls, there is a real split. You've got your hawkish Republicans, your likes of Senator Ted Cruz, Senator Lindsey Graham. They have been saying, look, you've got to go in. This is your only chance. You've got to take them out now. At the same time, you've got others who are part of the Make America Great Again movement. That's the sort of faction that Donald Trump founded and has really led. They are saying, look, this is not what we stand for. It should be America first. We don't want to be involved in these foreign wars. And remember, Donald Trump fought an election on being a peacemaker in chief and on the economy. He does not want to be dragged into this war, but it looks like he may eventually have to be. And then that's going to cause real problems within his party. 32 members of Congress now have already signed on to saying they don't want to be involved in this. Now, obviously, Donald Trump can't declare war on Iran, and we're probably away from that. But if he was to, let's say, take out Ayatollah Khamenei, that would be seen as an act of war by Iran. And even though Donald Trump can launch issues under emergency powers, he can't declare war. So there is still some kind of leverage here, but it's totally tearing this party apart. And even J.D. Vance, who is the vice president, he's very against any interference in foreign wars. He doesn't want to be involved in Ukraine. Even he's now having to toe the party line and set this up and say, look, you've got to give the president some latitude here.
Well, speaking of the vice president, do we have any further word on diplomatic efforts? There was the suggestion that J.D. Vance and Steve Witkoff, the Middle East Special Envoy, would be heading to Tehran for some kind of discussion.
Well, there was, but that was 24 hours ago. And you've seen just how much stuff changes. This time yesterday, it was talked about how they would probably go and speak to the Iranians. But Donald Trump said he's in no mood to negotiate. At the moment, it looks like we are heading towards military strikes. But, 24 hours is a long time in politics. Ask me the same question again tomorrow. They could be there. Anything could change.
Phil Lavelle there across those developments for us from Washington, D.C. Thank you very much, Phil.